Hello, it is Random Palk, and we're reviewing a game called EHRGEIZ, or EHRGEIZ, or however you pronounce it. It's a fucking game for PlayStation. I'm not sure how many of you know what it is, but it's a combination adventure game and fighting game. It's actually kind of unique the way it is. The arcade mode and versus mode are the fighting sections, and of course they have the generic fighting practice mode options where you can set your options, all the generic stuff there, like level number, set count, timer, hit points, all that. But yeah, and this is the fighting portion of it, where you can go to all this. You can exit the fighting portion at will, and then they have the fucking adventure mode, which, you know, PlayStation load time, of course. In the adventure mode, you're two archaeologists or whatever, fucking searching the ancient ruins and all that. And of course there are mini games that you can dick around on. Well, in this portion we're going to talk about the fighting game, just because it's kind of unique on the fact that the fighting characters in this game involve a lot of the characters from Final Fantasy 7. Yep, it is a fighting game where a lot of the characters are from Final Fantasy, or at least a good portion of them. You can be like, there's Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth. You can be any of those characters at will. And just like any other fighting game, there are characters you can unlock by beating the game, like Red 13 and all that shit. Now, I don't remember the controls all that well. And yeah, each character, like always, has their special moves and shit. But like I said, I don't remember all the controls, so I don't remember what all the special moves are. But yeah, it's a pretty typical, it's a typical fighting game. Yeah, it's a typical fighting game, nothing real special about it. The only thing about it is the Final Fantasy characters. Other than that, it's pretty fucking generic. Not good, but not bad. It's entertaining on the fighting part. So if you like fighting games, this game has something for you. Yeah, this game has something for you if you like fighting games, but the main thing that makes this game interesting, we're going to go ahead and exit the fighting part, because the main thing that makes this game interesting is actually the dungeon crawler aspect. Whoops, I didn't mean to enter the arcade again. We got to exit. We're just going to exit out of this because, like I said, the most interesting part of this to me is actually the dungeon crawler element. Yeah, the dungeon crawler element. I mean, if you want to play the fighting game part, it's actually entertaining, but there's nothing special about the fighting part. The most interesting part is this part, the Forsaken Dungeon. And this is the part of the game I want to focus on, because this, like I said, is the most, you could choose hard mode or normal mode. I'm going to choose normal mode just because it'd be easier to review.
全ての始まりの時と呼ばれるほどの昔のことだ。
The story is about two explorers recording history and all that.
その一人が先生ってわけですね。
少数派どころか学説扱いされていない。
でもどんな文明だったんですか？
We're gonna go ahead and skip all that shit. If you want to play the game, you can watch the story. I would have let it played, but since the voice acting is in Japanese, and what's interesting about the dungeon crawling part is that it's actually random. Gotta remember the controls for it. I was trying to show you could swap the characters. This just gives you the details on, you know, attack with square, magic, ultra magic, all that shit. Yeah, triangle will let you use items and all that. And there's a bank where you can store stuff like money and cash. All pretty generic. You're supposed to be able to swap characters, but yeah, after you do that starting part, you can change your characters and equipment and shit. So now you can be her if you want to be. Now in this game, you need to build up both of them. There's a reason why, but in this game you have to build up both characters. You can't just use a single one, you gotta use both. Well, now we're gonna check out the actual dungeon. And the dungeons are random. The layout of the dungeon is random every time you enter it, which is actually a good thing. I like that, because it gives you a lot more playability with the randomness. Yeah. Now what's interesting is the fucking fact that not only is it random, but it's kind of like the Final Fantasies, where you can fucking find materials and other treasures. I mean, it's not a bad game. I'm sure you played games similar to it. If not, then I'd say check this one out. It's actually kind of fun. And there are random treasures, like I just found leather armor. But the most interesting thing about this game is the way you increase your stats. You increase your stats in this game by the different foods you eat. Trying to remember how to bring that up. But yeah, your stats not only go up by level, but it's also determined by what foods you eat. Can determine what you gain on your level. But there's just a quick overview of this game. I may play it for real, but yeah. But this game has plenty of variety. Like I said, you can either do the fucking fighting game just to dick around and try to unlock all the characters and, you know, play with your favorite Final Fantasy characters. Or you could do this dungeon crawler, which is actually the most fun part to me. Yeah, like I said, you gain levels, or you can eat food like that meat I just got. You can either place it in your satchel, you can eat it, and all that, but I can't remember exactly when, but you can upgrade your stats by the different foods. And yeah, I know it's pretty basic. I think they could have done better if they would have just made EHRGEIZ just this dungeon crawler part instead of adding the fighting component, but I don't know, I like this game. It's definitely, I think, an underrated classic. Yeah, like, see, the meat contains protein, so if you eat it, you get more protein. And if I can remember what button is the status. But yeah, you got different power attacks and shit you can do. And it is a good game. I may play it completely. I'm not going to play it completely right now. I'm just reviewing EHRGEIZ. But yeah, there's this game where you can build shit up. And then, as I said, there's the fighting portion of the game where you could just do a generic tournament fighter. It's definitely an underrated classic for PlayStation and definitely worth checking out. If you ever want to play a fighting game where Final Fantasy 7 characters are in the fighting game, then there you go. This is a Final Fantasy fighting game. Almost, because there are plenty of Final Fantasy characters in it. But yep. I'm going to end this review here. I was just introducing you to this game in case you never heard of it. But it's definitely a classic for PlayStation that's definitely worth being checked out. I may do more on this game later on. And hell, I may actually even beat the dungeon crawling part just so you can see that it's actually a really good game. If you like any of my videos, please subscribe. But I'm ending this video.